Hey everybody, Orange Podcast Bad, episode 65. We're seeing if maybe Paul can join us, maybe Edward. We're not sure yet. We're just watching some tape of the Starship launch, successful launch and crashes into the ocean last night. The deployment of the satellites, the dummy satellites. Good time. Good to have you all.
Alright, all operators on countdown 1. Flight directors go for launch.
Hello and welcome to Starbase Texas, or what we here at SpaceX like to call the Gateway to Mars. I'm Amanda Lee, a build reliability engineer at SpaceX.
And I am Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Everybody, welcome back to Starbase. If you've been following along, today is going to mark the third attempt to get our 10th Starship flight test off the ground. First one was back on Sunday. We stood down then to troubleshoot an issue with some of our ground systems, had a leaky hose. We replaced that, got to our attempt yesterday, lost our battle with the weather gods and some anvil clouds in the area, but we're hoping the third time is the charm.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Let me turn that off.
Sorry I'm late.
It happens. It happens. Let me get this audio off my computer too. I was playing the beginning of the Starship launch yesterday. While we waited, see if you or anyone else wanted to join us tonight. How you doing? What's going on?
Doing good. Just man, I got all this stuff. Tanya fell today. Oh man, her legs quit working, and I just bought her a latte, fate, pape, fancy.
Whatever those are called, right?
All over the. Just went everywhere, dude.
I hate to laugh, but I mean, you got to laugh at some of the things, right?
Oh, she was.
You do.
She was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I got rubber legs. What do I do?" You know?
What are you supposed? She was out there pitching a latte like Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
You have to laugh at this stuff. You do, because there's no other way to go about life.
You can't. I'm telling you, bro. I couldn't cope. My plate is so full. I could not cope if I just didn't laugh. Well, first of all, the only reason I laugh is because she's laughing. I mean, And of course, she's 5 foot nothing and 98 pounds. So, immediately on her knee is like this bruise this big, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Are you growing plums down there? What the hell's going on?
Oh man. Yeah.
Honestly, when I've watched things like this with people, the people who can laugh at themselves about it are, you look at them you live with it, but like friends that just hang out with you guys, they're like, I don't understand how you guys are so joyful through all the badness.
Yep.
Right?
You're exactly right. We've got we've got 2 or 3 friends we play golf with, and that we, one guy uh, plays music at our favorite Italian restaurant right on the lake, here in Hawkins. And he and his wife, and we're over there giggling and cutting up, and me and Tanya are elbowing each other and shit. And they're like, "This is serious stuff. What are you doing? This is serious." And I'm like, "Stay out of my business, dude, because this is how we deal with it." You
Yeah,
know?
that's exactly right. And they just can't understand. They think you should be 1000% consumed by the bad and that
Yeah,
nothing else in life is happening. And you're like, dude, you seriously just swatted one into the trees. Have fun finding it. And you laugh at him. And he has no idea why you and your wife think it's so goddamn funny
right.
because
No, that's exactly right,
he's
Shaun. And
consumed
you know
by
what?
the bad.
If I did what if I acted the way they expected me to act, I'd be dead next year.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely,
I would just be dead. I
yeah.
mean, you know, dude, I'm running wide open right now. I'm doing 55, 60 hours a week with the defense contractor. We got shit kicking off all over the world, all that kind of stuff. I'm meeting with the Navy. I'm meeting with Special Forces next week. I'm going down to Fort Hood in outside of Waco in Killeen, and I'm meeting with SOCOM down there. I mean, it, you know, and
Well,
and I told Tanya, I said, look, if you're gonna fall in the living room, then I'm taking you with me to Fort Hood because I can't trust
yeah,
you to
yeah,
walk around the living room by yourself. And then, both of us are like,
right. I
Um,
know it's a.
but that you understand that, Shaun. That's just how it has to be.
I for what it's worth, I think I started seeing this stuff when I was about 14. And that would have been with grandparents. And there's always been some stage in my life, first time I was married, it was her mother, and then, things go on, and then it was my father, and then things go on, and then
Yeah.
it's, somebody else, one of my kids, in-laws, and
Oh
you just,
yeah.
it,
It's
you know
always
what?
something.
There are people who just, they get into this unbelievable funk, and I feel sorry for them. But they're like, this is the end of my world. And then there's the people who go, this shit's fucking funny. Look, I'm going to try to walk across the living room. I bet you $10 I can make it 7 steps.
Yeah.
Right, seriously, and they laugh. And the whole
Yeah.
family just dies laughing when whoever it is makes it to 4 steps, or maybe they make it to 9 steps, and everybody cheers.
Yeah.
That's the way you should live, as
Right.
opposed to always going, "Oh my God, that glass is going to fall off the table
Right.
and break any second now." Right?
Yep. I I gotta say, when I was a deputy sheriff, man, some of my coworkers would get on to me because we'd pull over a suspected DUI or something, and they would do the walk and turn and do it correctly. And I was like, yes, yes, you nailed it. And they're like, hey, hey, hey.
Well, why aren't you having a good time? Because
Yeah,
clearly the guy
it's
that or
fun.
girl that you have walking the line, and she's
Yeah.
doing step, step, snap, step, step,
Yeah,
snap.
oh my God, that's the funniest video ever. That of all the Reno 911s, I swear to God, that cowboy doing what she was doing, I still watch it once or twice a month because it just kills me.
Oh, it's the funniest thing in the world. And so
Yeah,
to hear that you were laughing at DUI stops, cracks me up, and that sounds just like you. Because
Yeah,
look, why are you taking everything like this is the last moment? We
right.
must be we're we're on the USS Indianapolis, and we have to start bucketing water out of it.
Yeah,
Why are we
it's
looking?
just, and 25 years of law enforcement, dude. Traffic was not my thing, but it came my way. You know what I mean? You're driving along. I'm going down into the hood, see if I can make me a couple of drug arrests, pick me up some boys on the corner, slinging dope and stuff. And the car in front of me is going, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing this now, But it's not the end of the world, dude. I've been where you've been. You're down at
Yeah.
Frankie and Johnny's listening to
Ha,
Taylor Swift
well,
songs and line dancing and shit. Okay, I got you, bro. But you can't be taking all four lanes up while you're driving.
right, right. Yeah, stick to the lane on the right, and make sure you use the comedian on the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I, and
You're
I would
fine.
say things like, look, I would recommend you pull as far off to the right as you can, open your door, and use your foot. Just kind of go along, and I think you'll be good. If you're that, because the other thing, Shaun. Oh, my house is a block away. Oh, my house is, you know, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to do the Fred Flintstone thing. If you want to get to the house without getting arrested,
Right, throw it in neutral, and they're like, "What's neutral?"
yeah,
Look, you gotta have a good time. Look, there's moments in life where it requires seriousness, but those are few and far between. And I
sure,
hope people realize that. I
sure.
mean, military funerals, that's a time to be
Oh,
serious. Right, like if you want to do politics, the presidential inaugurations, if you want to do church, I would say the only time that's time to be serious in church is for baptisms. Everything else, have a good time with it, laugh along with your
yeah,
pastor or your reverend,
yep,
laugh at everything, have a good time.
yep.
There's very few times in life, but there are, where you need to be dead
Oh, you got to be
focused
dead
and serious.
serious, and I could be as serious as the next guy. I've had my shares of scrapes and cuts and shootouts, and you know,
Mhm.
but you do what you
Well,
got
and
to do.
to your point, you said we've all been there. Look at all the men in America. Tell me you haven't ever been pulled over by a cop and they said, "Hey, listen, buddy, look, I know, but I can smell that bar on you. We
Yep,
need to talk."
yep,
Like it's nothing to be ashamed of. They're making sure everybody's safe, and they're having fun at your expense, and you don't realize it, and it's fucking hilarious.
dude. I was on my Harley. It was like 42 degrees coming back from a choir practice, and I pulled off into the woods so I could take a pee.
Sure, sure.
And it turned out it was a Walmart parking lot in a bush that was around a light pole and not the woods at all. And about 75 people saw me. And then
Mm.
four police cars descended on me. But, I got arrested for DUI. But at the end of the night, we were all chuckling and stuff. And they're like, dude, you're just like a righteous dude, man. Okay, because you're big and strong, and we didn't want to fight you. And I'm like, nah, dude, what am I going to fight about?
Why the fuck was I gonna fight you?
Yeah,
Dude,
I've been over at my boy's house, man. We were all up there
I,
throwing beers
well,
down, and how
mine
many
was
do you think you had? I said, well, I stopped counting after four, so I don't know.
right. Well, mine wasn't even driving. But
You
I
were
was
walking and you got a DUI?
I got a PI, but same thing without affecting any driving privileges, public and talks. So I come walking out of this. I went to all right. I went to homecoming. I was 30 years old. I went to homecoming at Purdue, their homecoming game. All of my family graduated from Purdue. I went to a totally different college, but we were all hanging out. I took one of my neighbors from my neighborhood where we owned homes. He was a Purdue grad, and whatever. We started drinking at 10
Yeah,
a.m.
right.
So at 2:30
Yeah,
a.m.
tailgating and you're going to
Yeah,
go to
so
the
at
game
2:30
eventually.
a.m., right? 18 hours later,
Yeah,
some bouncers shoved me out of one of the bars in West Lafayette, right on the river of the Purdue campus, and I see an officer say, "Hey, come here!" And right, and so
yeah.
my buddy sits on the ground. He just goes, "I know what the fuck's going on." He just sits on the
We
and
used
and
to call
I
it the
was
squat
I
thrust. Yeah.
he told me because I don't remember any of this. He told me, "Shaun, you looked at him and nodded at him, turned right, walked 3 steps, and then he threw you to the ground."
In law enforcement, when they sit down like that, we used to call it the squat thrust. When they knew they were caught and stuff, and they're like, "Well, if I sit down, I won't be wobbling and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
and
I'm
they
just going
won't
to sit
smash
down."
my face into the ground at least. So, yeah, I have no recollection of any of this. This was told to me by the guy that was with me. He says, "You literally turned 90 degrees to the right, tried to walk 5 steps, and the cop just tripped and
T-boned
pushed
you.
you and just smashed your face straight into the ground." Um,
Wow.
and what I do remember, one of the only things I remember is the next 3 hours I spent with that poor cop because he had to take me to the hospital. They had to get me checked. They did all the things.
Yeah.
And before he put me in jail, and he did write in the report, the guy's repeating himself. He was intoxicated, but he also never put in my BAC into the report so that when I went to the judge,
No way.
yeah, he never wrote it in there, and I remember the nurse telling him my BAC, which was retardedly high,
Oh yeah,
like rock star,
93.6
like
or
Axl Rose high, right? And
yeah.
he just
Oh,
he's like,
you're
"I
in
don't."
the actual Rose thing.
He's like he must have just told his boss. I don't remember what the nurse said. He never put that in my paperwork, and so yeah, I did. Look, I had to do all the things. I did community service. It was a civil fine. I paid the civil fine. But because he ignored that one thing, my penalty was so much less.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what my community service was? You know, Friday Night Lights. Texas is all about high school football, dude.
Yeah.
So the local high school, not my village, but over in Longview, that's got 120,000 people. They've got a $35 million high school stadium just
Yeah.
for high school. Those guys go to the nationals every year, and it's like A&M or the Longhorns. You know what I mean? It's a nice facility. So what my community service was picking up all the popcorn and cups and all that in the stands after a Friday night game. And I'll, I'll never forget, dude. I got to the end of the bleachers, and it's like a steep, grass covered, you know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They got a
you know what I
hill.
mean? The bleachers are
Yeah,
built in,
they got a
and
hill
on
that people
either
can
end, the
sit on.
grass is, going down and stuff. Well, this piece of plastic bag or something was blowing over into the grass. And I went over there and tried to step on it, and of course it goes. I try to step on it, it goes, and finally I grab it. I lose my balance, and I go. And of course, there were 5 or 6 of us that were doing community service, and I was the oldest by like 50 years. And
Yep.
all these guys come over and they're like, "Damn, Papa, are you okay?"
Were you laying on the ground just laughing your ass off?
I just couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it.
Wow. Well, I love that we share stories with the people that follow us. I will tell you, my community service was different. I had the opportunity to do my hours at Goodwill, the retail outlet, and I learned a whole lot about that company and that operation.
Oh
No, no,
wow,
no,
really?
they're not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're bad, but they are
Yeah,
a for-profit operation,
yeah.
even
They're
though
not
they
a
are a
yeah.
even
Yep.
though they are a 501, a not for profit legally. And
Yeah, the
I spent
CEO makes several million a year.
Oh God, yeah. Store managers make a buttload of money. But they also do incredible things. They employ all kinds of people like from high school who have severe mental challenges. They put ex-cons to work after they
Yeah,
get they
yeah,
do all kinds of good stuff. Well, so I had to do my community service hours, and I happened to be working as a manager at a retailer down the street from the Goodwill I was working at. And so I come in, I'm like, I don't know what do you want me to do? And here's my paperwork. Will you fill it out for my hours? And they're like, yeah, sure. Come on in. Hey, can you face these shelves? And we want you to take all the yellow tags and cycle them. And we're going to have you put them in a Gaylord in the back. And after you're done with that, we'll give you more to do. And so after about 20 minutes, I come back and say, that's all sorted. They're like, what?
yeah.
And they're like, no, no, no. Wait, hold on. You don't work for us, but can you come with us? We got to see this. And so I have this 33-foot rack of shelving all
Sure.
remerchandised, all of the yellow tags that they told me, all of the yellow tags pulled out. I had already clipped the yellow tags, thrown those into a Gaylord to be shipped off to trash. And they go,
Yeah, because you're a
"We-"
passive logistician.
well, they asked me, they're like, we hire people like you all the time? I said, I don't know how to tell you this. I just did something stupid. I work as a manager at the store a block away. But I really appreciate how much you enjoyed me doing. I've got 18 more hours to do. What do you want me to do next?
Yeah, right?
And they're like, we're going to use the shit out of this
Yeah,
guy.
how about accounts payable?
Right?
Yeah.
And I totally appreciated it. And I was not trying to be like,
No, no, of course you
but
were.
I
Yeah,
was just
you're
like,
just
I
trying to do
really
your
appreciate
thing.
the
Yeah,
job offer.
yeah,
But I do what you guys do on a retail level. You can see it right over there, a block
yeah,
away.
yeah.
And that
At
one,
that $14 billion a year franchise right
yeah,
over there. Yeah,
I'm the manager of that place,
yeah.
and they just weren't used to that. They're used to getting repeat DUI offenders, on their fourth, fifth, sixth. Yeah, whatever that they.
Yeah,
And I was in on my first PI and just doing my community service,
yep,
whatever.
yep. It's so funny that um, you 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 get these guys, because a lot of the guys I was community servicing with, you know, 2 were female prostitutes,
Sure.
and they wanted to blow job their way out of community service. And I'm like, babe, you're picking up trash in a stadium. It's really
It's the simplest of work
it's
they give you.
really just grab a trash bag
It's the
and
simplest of
put
work.
all that crap in. You take these 4 rows, I'll take these 4 rows. You know, Bob will take those 4 rows. It just don't degrade yourself, you know?
Right. Well, I guess that's the other thing I noticed too is when I did my community service, I could have very easily just occupied myself for 8 hours, for a full shift in an aisle, and Goodwill would have said nothing and still signed my
Of
paperwork.
course, they just signed your
They
thing
were
and
just
that's been it. Yeah, sure.
they were just impressed that that wasn't my
Yeah,
personality. And then
yeah.
they said, and then I kept coming back to them and saying, "Okay, what do you have for me next?
Yeah,
I'm
what do
bored.
you got for me now? Yeah. And
I'm
yeah,
bored. I just finished 33 feet of aisle on both sides. What's next?"
yeah,
And they're like, they like one of them, one of the assistant managers even said, I don't even know what to do with you." And I'm like, well, I need something to do because I'm gonna
yeah,
get super bored. I'm gonna
yeah.
get super bored. I was like,
Yeah,
"I
I did
don't
the
care how
same thing. I
menial
mean,
the"
it was,
he's like, can you wipe down the dressing rooms?" And he gives me a spray. I said, "Yeah, I'll be back." 10 minutes later, I was back, and I said, "All 3 dressing rooms are clean. What else can I do?" And they were just blown away
sure,
at my
because 'cause they're
personality.
not used to that op tempo. Yeah,
No.
and then
Yeah, yeah.
and so, in my case, we had this guy who was a, career government employee and lazy as all get out and stuff,
Sure.
and so we would all meet down on the 50-yard line, and it was just natural to me, "Hey, I want why don't and you go do this section? Me and her and that guy'll do this section over here. Let's just go and try to get this organized so that we can." And he's just sitting there, you know, and then his boss came out and he goes, "I've never seen a stadium clean this quick." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, it ain't rocket science, brother. It's picking up trash and putting it in a bag."
Right. Right. Sweep it up, scoop it up,
Yeah,
put it in a
that's it.
black bag, leave it for the go-kart to come pick up,
Yep. And
right?
they wouldn't let us. That was the other thing that was like super cool was they didn't want us on the
The cart.
flatbed golf carts. That had to be a long view in ISD, school district, independent school district employee. So we just piled up all the bags at the end. And even that guy was like, "Dude, we never get all the bags piled up in the same place. They leave them all over the fucking stadium, and I gotta go up and grab them." And I'm like, "No, we're not having that, dude. We're putting them all down at the end."
Oh,
You know?
dude, well, and that what you said something that's funny to me because, my second ex-wife, the reason I will never get married again, hated me for this, even though that's how I met her. She's like, every place you go, you seem to turn around and manage everybody that's around you within about 10 minutes
Yeah,
about whatever it is. We're having a
yeah.
campfire with friends. I was
Shaun,
like,
you're that guy. I could see that up like 2 years ago, 100 miles away. That's why you and I get along so well. You're just a natural leader. And
no,
it's
no,
not arrogance. It's not anything. It's just your personality type.
yeah, and you're the same way. You walk into a thing and you look at it and go, it could be the family cousins weekend and go, We need more wood for the bonfire tomorrow. We need to do this. Oh, by the way, go grab that grill over there or yank it up on the
That's
porch.
exactly what happens.
Right?
Yep.
And everybody just goes, okay. And then you go, okay, this looks great. Let's go
Yeah.
have a drink. Right?
That's exactly what happens, dude. We've got a place up in Arkansas called the Duck Club. And my cousin and his two sons are chicken moguls.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you know the chicken that you get at gas stations? Not churches, but it's Chester's.
Yeah.
You probably don't have it in the Midwest, but in the South, Chester's chicken is huge. And it's at every Valero, every Exxon, every, all of those things. And he built his empire off of Chester's. And so they built this duck club where they would take their top line customers. So it has a driving range. It has a swamp for hunting ducks, and it's about a 5,000 square foot metal building that is not. It's got a big great room, a chef kitchen, and everything else is a bedroom and a bath, and a bedroom and a bath. So there's like two hallways where there's just bedrooms and bath. So we always do our family reunions there.
Sure.
And right, oh yeah, and
Sure.
and bro, it is awesome, you know. But it's so funny that this is part of their marketing and stuff that they do for their chicken franchise, and so they take all of these Durka guys that own the Valeros and stuff, and they bring them out and go, "Hey, let's go duck hunting," and they're like, I don't know what that means," you know. But they show, you know what I mean? They show them a good time. There's a big barbecue grill and a pool table and about 5 or 6 75-inch TVs. It's just one of those places. But it's just,
Yeah.
dude, it's Americana. You know what I mean? It's Americana.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. I had the Cunuck on last night for his Cunuck show. It's about flag burning, but it's also about the misunderstanding of Trump's executive order and how Fox News and Newsmax and everybody's portraying it incorrectly by listening to Trump's words. What Trump says, if you burn a flag, 1 year in jail. But then you go read the text of the executive order and it says it's a promise to investigate if there was other crimes like lighting a fire in a public park or on federal property
That's
or
correct.
incitement to riot.
Right. They glossed over that.
Right. So, and I'm watching both the left and the right just lose their minds on the internet because they haven't had the chance to learn it. And then now we're a couple days removed, and they're still like, I can't believe Trump would do this. And what I like, the only comment I typically make is it's never about what Trump says. You should know this 9 years in now. It's about what the actions Trump does. What action did he do with his executive order? And then I get comments that says, fuck you, Nazi. Look, I get it. Which people are nuts, but they don't care. They don't care. They don't care to actually understand what's going on in the world around them. And so, whether it's the left or the right, and a lot of them do this shit for clicks because they get paid very well by doing shit for clicks.
Oh, for
Uh,
clicks, yeah, for sure. And so,
but
go ahead. Sorry.
all I was gonna say was, like, if you just put the truth in front of them, they shut up or they'll block you. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter whether they're left or right. They'll just block you. You're screwing with my engagement farming. You're screwing with me getting rich off of engaging with people who don't understand.
right,
And you're telling them the truth, which will make them not want to listen to me or follow me anymore.
right.
Block.
So I've got a friend um, that we were in Iraq together. We were gunslingers together, PMCs, and he's former British SAS. He's about 4 inches taller and about an axe handle wider than me at the shoulder.
Damn.
He is a very imposing person. Really nice, really a great guy, but he will fuck your shit up when it comes time to fuck shit up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So he married this gal, I'm not gonna say her name, uber liberal Jewish person.
Okay.
So today she posts, I went to a Mexican restaurant. They live in Maryland,
Okay. Of course.
right? I went to a Mexican restaurant. We had really great food. And I asked if everyone was okay. And the manager was like, yeah, sure, we're fine. But we appreciate you asking. And she said, well, in light of this fascist regime that is running the country now, I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay at your restaurant. Well, I just could not let that slip. So I pulled out my keyboard and I said, listen, I've been a cop half of my life. I have never, ever abused anyone unlawfully. But if you break the law, you're going to jail. And if you came in this country illegally, you're breaking the law and you're going to jail. It's got nothing to do with fascism. It's got everything to do with the rule of law. And your husband is a very well recognized private military contractor. And I am so disappointed in you that you think because Trump is the president, we're all pieces of shit. Well, when you say things like that, keep in mind, I've been in firefights with your husband, so I can tell you definitively when you attack law enforcement and say we're fascist and we're just arresting people off the street, you're disrespecting your husband. So keep that in mind.
Did she respond or block you?
She blocked me.
Of course. Of course. Hey, look, blocks are a badge of honor at this point. They are
Yeah, they
because
really are.
all it
Dude,
shows is that they're not willing or able to
they're not able
show
to.
their argument
Right.
in a successful way so that you can have discourse or dialogue or
Dude,
debate.
we've been to
They
their
can't.
house. We've had dinner. Tanya, don't you know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but I also know these kind of bitches. You looked at her the way like she was serving dinner, and the way her dress was cut way too low at the top, and you're like, "Fuck this bitch." Like,
Yep.
I know she is purposefully doing this.
Yep.
It's an act. I mean, she might as
And
well.
she's a doctor. She works for she works for um Doctors Without Borders.
There you go. Doctors, dude, it's the most liberal,
Yeah.
progressive liberal
Yep.
organization I could possibly think of. Well, yeah,
Yep.
of course, and
But
I'm
but
sure.
now but now I don't, you know, me and Andrew been through the shit. Well, I don't mean to say his name, but me and this guy been through the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
Been through the shit, dude. We've been
li
scared together.
listen,
And now we're never gonna talk again.
I don't know if that's true. It could be. It could absolutely be true. I've been down that road, but it also could be, he just talks to you and says, "Hey, I gotta take a work call." And walks into the garage and says, just talks about what not his wife, but just talks
Yeah.
about shit that's going on
Yeah,
around the
yeah, yeah.
world. And
Well, that could be. Yeah.
yeah, like, but dude, I've experienced this so many times. And I wasn't even political on Facebook, but when I was married to my second wife, who I had my kid and two step kids with, over that course of about 8 or 9 years, she's like, people block me on Facebook just because of who you are, and I would ask, and she was, I felt she was being genuine. She goes, "Well, they think you're a conservative," and I was like, "Oh, well, how would they even know? I post pictures of our dogs and our kids."
Yeah.
And we just think he's conservative, so we block him, and therefore we have to block you too. And I don't know why it upset
Wow.
her so much, but she's like, "I don't know why my friends won't." Like, she really was, like, I would love to be on Facebook and chatter all day with my friends, and they're blocking me because of you, Shaun, right? And I was like, and I didn't even know what to tell her. I was like, I didn't
Yeah.
quite
How do you
understand.
respond to that,
I didn't
bro?
understand the phenomenon at the time,
Yeah.
but the
And that is
phenomenon.
so that not to put too fine a point on it, but conservatives don't react that way.
No.
I am totally open to her and her skewed view because me and Andy are bros. We've been through the shit. So
Yes.
Andy accepts Tanya no matter what, and I accept her no matter what. No matter what, dude. There's no there's no rules, there's no uh closing in, there's no nothing. Bro, that's your old lady.
Yep.
She's my old lady. I love her. I
I
love her.
have a cousin and her mother who's still alive that are bleeding heart socialist liberals, and they don't believe that either Barack Obama or Joe Biden went far enough into socialism. And like because we're family, and they rip on me all the time. They're so happy that Rush Limbaugh died. Like they just like
They don't say that,
that
do they?
type of liberal, right? But like when we actually get to the family reunion, they enjoy my debate so much. They really do. But they also just love me as family. They didn't block me. They haven't hated on me. They're
Yeah.
actual socialist liberals who are willing to have debate, and they love the times they get to hang out with me because I will totally debate them, even when I crush them in the debate. They love it. They're not what we see online every day. Whereas,
That's totally awesome, dude.
whereas
That's
your
how it's supposed to go.
Right, it's supposed to be open debate. That was the
Right.
whole thing. That
That's
was the
the whole
whole
premise.
premise. I
Right.
just watched The Patriot again for probably the 700th time.
I
That
love
that
I just
that
watched it the other day myself.
that scene where Mel Gibson's character says, "I will not fight the British Army,"
Yep.
and he explains all the reasons why not to fight the
Yep.
British Army. I actually looked at that and I found out where that house is that he
No,
was
is it near you?
about 45 minutes away from me. Yes, I'm gonna go find it. There's apparently 45 buildings on the property, 700 acres. Most of the movie was shot on this singular property. Obviously, the movie they burned down, but they haven't burnt down. Now they're period correct, but they're post revolution. The houses and the buildings are early like 1800s to 1815, but it would be still period correct to 1774
Wow.
through 1783. So again, Mel Gibson for the win on using
Right.
period correct stuff. And
Right.
almost all of the movie was shot in that area in South Carolina. I live over the border in North Carolina. I want to go see it, but what I was getting at was that let's see where he says, "I do not want to spill our blood for one tyrant and give it to 300 tyrants 1
Yep.
mile away from me."
A mile away from me. Yep,
Yes.
that's what he said.
Which was what a great line because we look
Yeah.
into fast forward to today and you look at where everything's at and you're like, "Fuck, all we got is Trump."
Yep.
All these other jokers in Congress and Senate, like, fuck, how wild, 248 years, and they're all back to being the same way the British were.
Yeah. Yeah. I Man, I love that movie so much. I so funny you said that because I just watched it a couple of days ago. Well, maybe 4 days ago. I watched it. I just love
It's
I love The Patriot.
it's a great movie, it's period correct,
Yeah,
it's fiction, I get it's fiction, but it's historically
it's kind of
fairly
fiction.
accurate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
because,
the
what's
fic
his name? The
the
British
fiction
guy was real,
yeah,
all that, now the dog.
yeah, right, the dogs, the family, that who knows, but probably not. That was probably the fiction. Did you oh, I thought you locked up. The
No, you
dogs, the
locked
Great
up.
Danes. Oh,
And you locked up and you had the ultimate "I'm smoking since a million" face. It it was like
uh, man, the internet's crazy. Fuck. I'm gonna have to get a Starlink like you have, so this
Yep.
shit doesn't happen anymore.
Dude, you know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to go to Amsterdam together and hang out for a week and go see all the great historic stuff that's in and around there. And
Oh,
the World War II bunkers and,
yes,
Edgar Allan Poe's, studio and, all that kinda stuff, and smoke blunts
yeah.
and go on
I
the river things,
Yeah,
the
I
what do
did.
they
Like,
call those?
I am the.
Boats.
You've known me for a long time. I am the
Yeah.
biggest
Bro, let's go.
pro
Bro, we gotta do
revolution.
it.
Yeah, but I'm the.
Because I really the other thing is, I even talked to Tanya about this, is having you come over to Bosnia when we get our other, when we get our house together.
Yeah,
It's still under construction, but once it's done, have you come over because listen, the last time I was there, I I set up some NATO and UK MOD and those kind of meetings. I flew from Belgrade to London for $68.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's like two McDonald's meals.
Right? You know? Right?
Gee.
It's so cheap to get around once you're in country and stuff,
Well,
you know?
my favorite history, but is always revolutionary. But you know me, I'm a history freak.
Yeah.
I love and to go see sites in Belgrade or see sites in
Oh, dude.
and just stand
Dude,
there,
Belgrade will blow your mind,
take a
dude.
picture. Well, the other cool thing, right, is because I have the pro version of Grok. We can take a picture of it on my phone to Grok and say, "Tell me exactly what happened here."
Right.
And it will tell us with its voice.
Yeah.
And we could just sit there and listen and go,
Yeah.
"Holy shit."
Yep. Dude, we
Incredible.
get Sarajevo with the
Wow.
Olympics. Those
Yeah.
apartment buildings that are painted in pastel colors with the numbers on them, dude, they're still there.
Wow.
The downhill ski is
Yeah.
still there and still functioning. It's out at a place called Osachani, right outside of Sarajevo.
I don't even think Calgary, when they had their Olympics, I don't even think Calgary has their
No,
Winter
all
Olympics.
that stuff would no. In Bosnia, it's still there, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, and people are running it, and people still come from all over the world to do that stuff. Late, well, not lately. It's been 6 or 7 years ago. They rebuilt the ski jump. You know I forget what they call it, but you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
down
yeah.
the thing and yeah, they rebuilt all of that, and it's still there.
Wait, so you can sip bourbon around the
Bro,
bonfire at
bro,
the
we could
house?
go to the clubhouse and sit
What?
there and watch 19 and 22-year-olds
Just
go out
fucking
there and
launch
throw
their
down.
ass up into the
Oh,
air
yeah, just
and
throw
fly
down. Yep,
200 yards
yep.
downrange. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah,
That would
yep.
be awesome. That would be absolutely
There were
awesome.
so up around we've got this, really cool waterfall that goes into this pool, and the water's like aquamarine and probably 150 feet deep, but it's this big draw, and all the
Yeah.
people come out there.
You hit mute. I'm trying to unmute you. You muted yourself, dude. You totally muted. Look up in the corner. You muted yourself. I don't know what happened. I tried to unmute you, but
Oh,
there you
sorry.
are. That's part of the
But
best.
yeah, but it's just so cool over there. I mean, you go into Belgrade and you go into this church that was built in eight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No,
and,
absolutely
and
right.
people still go there,
Right.
and it survived the Ottoman Empire. It
Mhm.
survived all of these invasions and all this kind of stuff. And it's just so cool. And what I really, really like is I would say 75 to 80% of the young people all speak English.
Oh, sure.
And,
Sure.
and you get stuck at an intersection and you're like, and you ask somebody and they go, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, just go down 2 blocks and turn left, and and you're like, cool, thanks, bro.
Absolutely. We'll have to explain why everybody speaks English on another episode of this. We only got 5 minutes left, but
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'll give you a quick hint. It's the British Empire. Anyways, um, wow, that would be fun. So I will tell you, I think I wish more people could get out and see stuff like that. And I
Right.
think one of the things we should do if we do a trip together is
Yep.
use GoPros to record it
Oh yeah,
so that we can add it to this channel
yeah,
and it won't be necessarily a podcast, but we'll just, I can cut it up, the video up, and add whatever commentary audio with you and I over top of it
yep.
and do stuff like that. And I think people would enjoy that.
They would love it, dude. I'm telling you, the Balkan coast is just exactly like Italy for half the price.
Well, and the other thing is they haven't. Well, they were invaded in the 70s and 80s, but they haven't had the invasion of 2010 Obama through now of the
Oh yeah, sure.
Muslims
Yeah,
like England, France, Germany, all of
yeah,
them have. They haven't had because people are all moving to those places, the invaders,
yeah,
because they're going to get paid.
yeah.
They're incentivized to go there.
Madeleine Albright started all of that bullshit. She was
Yeah.
terrible, just a terrible person.
I hate that person. I also hate Victoria Newland.
Oh, she surpasses Madeleine Albright in being a fucked up asshole.
I look, that's probably if I look at things in the last 40 years,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Madeleine Albright was awful, but Victoria Newland
terrible. Yeah,
caused so
way past.
much
Yep,
war,
yep,
destruction, and death that like she's on the level. Like if I had my top 10, she's number 2 under Fauci on
yep.
death.
100%, dude.
I,
I agree with that all the way.
I mean, we started late. Let's close this out because
All right, bro.
we played some stuff earlier before we started. Let's close it out, man. I always love you talking to you, Paul. I love you.
I love you too, bro. This is great. See ya.